What's up, Hoop fans? Welcome to 1716, the most entertaining hour of basketball banter you'll hear each week. I'm your host, David, a Boston Celtics fan. Kyrie Irving balling his way back, so you knew I had to pull it out. 2 shows in a row, he's managed to find his Lakers gear after going through all of his Rockets gear earlier in the season.
Stop it.
We have Lamar, our Lakers fan.
Don't disrespect them like that. Texas Tech and the Rockets are back.
Hey, you know, I like how you're defending the Rockets right now. But hey, since Tyson Chandler has come, I understand that now you're deciding to wear your purple and gold.
No, I've always wore purple and gold. Don't start.
Also joining us, of course, we have our Mavericks fan, Hoodie Jeremy, is with us. You know him, you love him. On today's show, the show really wrote itself. We really didn't have to go searching for too much of this show. We're going to be spending the first 2 quarters on Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. And then we're going to be talking about Jimmy Butler in the 3rd quarter.
Yes, sir.
The 4th quarter wrapping up with Carmelo Anthony. Again, the show just wrote itself. I didn't have to do anything. So sit back and enjoy as we jump in to some basketball. So first up,
let's go, man.
As you know, earlier in this week, Kevin Durant and Draymond Green kind of got into it. Okay, I want to give a quick rundown of what happened.
Gotcha.
So, end game, right? They come back. They come storming back. They're almost about to win. Draymond pulls a rebound down. And KD's standing there. KD goes, hey, ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. And Draymond says, no, you evildoer, and starts running. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
It's totally not how that happened.
Stop it. That is not what happened.
Sorry. Draymond. I'm going to do this unbiased. Let me back up a little bit. I'm going to do this unbiased first. Draymond grabs a rebound, runs down the floor. Just runs down the floor. Kind of like that. Just runs down the floor as fast as he possibly can, crashes into the defense, turns the ball over. Game goes into overtime. Before overtime starts, KD, Draymond, sitting on the bench next to each other, start going at it. Mostly Draymond doing the talking. No?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both.
No, it was definitely Kevin.
They were going back and
some
forth.
words too.
They were going back and forth. Okay, and then they wound up losing the game. Okay. Later the next day, it was announced that Draymond had been suspended by the Warriors for 1 game. He was going to sit out 1 game without pay. And then KD and Draymond started getting asked about what happened. What happened here? What happened there? What's the relationship like? Obviously, all the news outlets started saying stuff. Y'all say something. What do y'all think about this? What was your initial reaction to the whole thing?
Go ahead.
It was hilarious. I mean, I was like, because the Warriors are this super team,
right?
And it's, I don't know, it you see a chink in their armor now a little bit. You know, I mean, not saying nobody's going to beat them 4 times in a row or four times in 7 games, but man, it's a lot of soap opera type stuff, and then with Draymond, I'm not surprised. So.
But I was just about to say, like, this is what I thought when KD joined. I was like, you're taking an emotional Draymond Green,
right?
And you're taking a sensitive player like KD, and then you're all like, it was already a lot going on with the team, you know. So with Steve Kerr and his health up and down, and how he was dealing with Draymond, you know, and then you put KD in there, like, we knew this was going to happen eventually, right? This was cooking.
So now that I've given the semi-unbiased route of what happened, let me actually explain what I think happened.
Okay.
Draymond grabbed the ball, and like I said, he didn't pass to KD. I don't know why. Obviously, you have KD on your team.
I got a reason, but no, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you. But you have to remember, seasons before, Draymond would play some little bit of backup as like a point forward, right? You know, so he was bringing the ball up, making decisions because of his great passing ability. So in Draymond's head, did he start to think, I can make the play at the end of the game?
Here's what I'm thinking. I think Draymond dribbling the ball up the floor, I get it. He's their floor general, especially with Curry being out.
Right.
Okay. He's the one that makes the plays. He doesn't always score, but he's the one that makes the plays. So I understand 45% of what Draymond did. What I don't understand is after he got past the half-court line, he kept going, and he sped up. Why'd you speed up? But then the other half of it is Kevin Durant. People argue that he's the best player in the game. And give him the ball. Give him the ball so then he can take it down. But he was just going to do an ISO play. So did Draymond say, I'm tired of your ISOs?
Well, there's been a lot of reports actually about the team because, Kevin Durant has been starting to get old Melo style, hold the ball, so the defense gets time to rest, right? Because they're just overloading the side. Weak side is weak. They're down there near the paint, so it allows them to rest a little bit on defense, right? So maybe there was something to Draymond pushing the ball up the floor, making people move. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I think that was his brain.
But going back to the finals, the J.R. Smith incident, was there a timeout? I
don't know. I really don't know.
That's a huge. But I get it from a basketball strategic perspective. Like when you get a rebound, you just want to catch the team off guard and just go ahead and go. Well, I don't think he made the right play.
Right, and then the other thing is the momentum was already in their favor.
Right.
So obviously he gets the ball. He gets the ball. If we keep momentum going, maybe KD gets loose. On a. In the transition, I don't know.
Right.
Whether there was a timeout or not for me and I get your point, but for me it's not as important as, okay, dude, game on the line, pass the ball.
Yeah.
Give it up. You're not the guy at the last minute that needs to do that.
There was a timeout. There was a timeout left. So they could have rebounded the ball, called a timeout, and drawn up a play. But then would that have just featured KD?
Well, I mean, it would have been better than that. What he did there,
right?
I mean, because if in the NBA, if you call a timeout, you get it at half court anyway. You advance the ball, but even if he would have dribbled a half court and then called timeout, it's the same thing. You would just have less time. But Draymond is not a scorer, man.
Do you put any of this on Kerr?
A little bit. I'm not calling a timeout.
I'm not communicating with hey guys. We're going to call a timeout right here.
Yeah.
Like these are things you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So
since the incident, right, there's been a lot of talking. There's been a lot of Draymond Green saying, whatever Kevin Durant does, whatever Klay does, I support them 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh.
After he already
playing to the media, baby.
But then what I did like from Draymond was yesterday, I think, when he went to the news and they were interviewing him and they asked him about it, and he said, I'm going to speak on this once and then we can talk about basketball. This is how I feel about it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, does anyone have any questions about basketball? Because if not, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Which I think was great. But what did KD do? Did you see it?
Yeah.
KD gets interviewed about it and he goes, don't ask me about that.
Are you surprised?
KD's sensitive.
That's
him.
Are you surprised?
Right.
No, wait. Before we actually just... I know what you're saying, because we're right about KD. But did you actually hear what Draymond said to KD? And then, now, KD did kind of start it-ish, but Draymond...
Tell me the censored version.
Right. Because we're a PG show,
We're a very PG show.
Yeah, PG show. But anyways, obviously it happens. KD actually goes over to the bench, slams the chair right in front of Draymond, and was like, why didn't you give me the ball? In front of the whole team. Steve Kerr's like, so, Draymond's like, oh no, nobody's about to talk to me like that, especially in front of everybody else. No. If he had done that in the locker room, that would have been a different story.
Right.
He did it during the game, which
public.
KD knows. Yeah. He's a professional player. You don't do that during the game, unwritten rule. And you don't do that during the game.
Nah.
And then
it's perfectly fine.
Unwritten rule.
But anyways, then of course, Draymond being the emotional player that he is, just goes too far, calls him the B word.
Mm-hmm.
More than
once, twice, 3 times in front of everybody else. And so then of course KD's like, no, you didn't, like, in front of everybody. Then you call me after I done everything for and then apparently Draymond said the ultimate thing that was like, hey, we won before you got here.
Before you.
And then KD was like, oh, I'm done. That's the icing on the cake. It's over.
And then as they were walking back out, KD said, he mouthed it, or
I'm leaving anyway.
He said, it looked like he said, that's why I'm out. Or
Yeah,
something to that
that's
extent.
why I'm out. I'm leaving anyway.
Right.
And I was like, Draymond, why would you? Why?
He went too far.
So guess what happens then after that? He gets suspended. Draymond does.
So he got suspended.
Next night.
How do you feel about the Warriors siding with newly acquired Kevin Durant versus longtime acquired Draymond Green?
This is very simple question, very simple answer. Who's the most important player?
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond.
What I'm saying is, of course you need Draymond. I'm not saying that. I'm saying between the two of them, if you had to get rid of one.
Here's my thought. If you know Steph Curry is going to come back, isn't Draymond really your best option?
No, I disagree. It's Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Second best player in the
7
world.
foot. The man can pull up from 40 if he wants to.
I understand, but since Steph Curry went out, this team hasn't been able to do anything.
That's
really.
a whole different story, though.
But you don't think that's on KD?
Let me ask you this: are you more willing to make a long-term investment in KD or a long-term investment in Draymond Green?
Absolutely in KD. What I'm saying is, just like Draymond said, we won before you. We can win without you. If he's not wrong, is he wrong?
The year before
Draymond.
The year before KD got there, they didn't win.
Steph, Draymond, and Klay. Yes, because LeBron did his thing. Okay, LeBron did his thing with Kyrie,
and they didn't have Kevin Durant.
I understand.
That's right.
But this year, Steph, Klay, Draymond, who's beating them besides the Celtics?
I think Houston beats them without KD.
You think last year's Houston beats them?
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I think mark my words. This year's Houston Rockets team beats them without KD. I said it. I said it.
You covered yourself.
Beats them without KD.
You covered yourself up real
If KD was not on that same team, this year's Houston team could beat them. Even as bad as I'm telling you, KD's that much of a difference maker.
KD's a big factor.
So, okay, so you're okay with them siding with KD because they're trying to. You're under the we really want to keep KD, so we need to side with him.
No, I think the team thinks that because they want to make sure. Obviously, the second, third best player in the league, however you want to talk about it. With Kevin Durant, they were like, whatever we can do to keep him, we can. Now, the only thing I am kind of seeing Draymond's point is. When Draymond is there, bringing the ball up, point forward, like we were talking about, there was ball movement. There was lots of, plays being run. It was hard to defend against Golden State. Sometimes when Kevin Durant gets the ball, it's not as...
Right, so for sure.
And so maybe is that their downfall? Maybe. With Steph out of the lineup? Especially?
Yeah. There's a lot wrong when Steph's out of the lineup. I don't know if we want to talk about that right now.
That's
when Steph's out of the lineup, there's a lot wrong with that team.
And then let's be honest, with Steph the leader of the team, when he's gone, right? Then who's the leader after that? When he's out of the lineup?
Should be KD.
Should be.
Is he a leader?
Him and him.
Is he a leader?
His soft,
foul.
His soft
foul.
self.
Ouch.
Him and his soft self.
But is he a leader?
Remains to be seen.
Because if you're gonna give a guy, this is one of my things. Maybe this is where maybe Dave and I disagree. Is I'm sure David will say if you're gonna give that much money to somebody, he has to be a leader, right? I don't think so. Because I just want KD to score and be the best player.
No, not necessarily. Because on the Celtics, I think Marcus Smart is one of our leaders. He's one of our leaders, and he's certainly not the one putting the ball in,
that makes
in
sense.
the hoop.
I see what you're saying.
So maybe I do align with that a little bit on yours, but at the same time, Kyrie is our leader, and he's also going to be the one making the most money at the end of the year. So I don't know, but then at the same time, no, because Kawhi is their leader, right? We say Kawhi is Toronto's leader.
Gosh, I hate to say this.
Kyle Lowry.
Really?
Say it. Who's their leader?
Kyle Lowry is their leader.
So when he gets traded to the Lakers, though, then who's the leader?
No, that won't happen. Because we're about to talk about some in a second.
Oh God. So before we to take a transition into it, what long-term effects does this particular incident have on the Warriors?
KD gone.
KD's gone.
KD's gone for sure.
And
Peace out.
The Warriors are human again. They lost their Infinity Gauntlet.
Unless they pull a free agent move. And then maybe, remember, the other card they got is Boogie. Right?
Right.
So let's say if KD does leave, then Boogie's like, if he plays good, wait, hear me out. If he plays good down the stretch, right? And then Boogie's like, hey, what about me?
So if you put yourself in Boogie's shoes and you heard your coach say to the media, we're not going to have money for him the next year. We would just like him to help us win a championship this year. He did.
He did say that.
Steph Kerr said it. Steve Kerr said it.
But if KD leaves, then that's a whole nother slot.
I get it, but what he's saying is, hey,
I know, because they're thinking they're going to keep
KD is our priority.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What he said was, we will not have money for him next year. We would like him to help us win a ring this year, and then we'll help him find a good home. Would you want to eventually become that option? How would that make you feel? And then, how will you think it makes Boogie feel? Because neither of you are like Boogie cousins. So how do you think he feels hearing that?
Tough. Yeah, I can agree there, but I don't know. If you win, like I said, winning cures a lot of things. So we'll see.
I think it depends what side of Boogie comes out. If there's any people that are around Boogie, they're like, hey, I understand you want to be the man, but don't you see the dollar signs that you could make here in Golden State with great situation around you? You could do a lot with this team, and you could still make that big time type of money. Again, assuming that they can't keep KD. So then there's another max deal that's out there.
What if in the near future Steve Kerr has another chance? He's like, yeah, we would love to develop, Draymond or DeMarcus Cousins, and starts talking like a totally different narrative about it. Now that
I wouldn't be shocked.
Now that
I would not be shocked.
KD is just like out.
Yeah. Desperate times.
So the only long-term effect you think is that KD's out?
Yeah.
Do you think that had any impact on any of the other players? Maybe it didn't. I'm just asking.
Depends on where KD goes.
Yeah, it's too early to tell.
Well, I understand
That's
that.
the ripple effect.
You mean from the team?
Right. Well, not only that, but where does KD go? Then it affects the whole league.
I'm just talking about KD in general, or the Warriors in general.
I got you. Warriors in general.
What does this move mean for them? So KD's gone.
The super team.
Are they going to win the championship
this year?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
You still think that?
Yes.
Because
it's too early in the season.
They're still the best players.
It's too early in the season.
They can patch it up. You think
They'll
so?
be fine.
Steph come back healthy and
Jeremy says,
Steph
winning cures everything.
Okay. Well, then let's move on to our second quarter, where we're not quite done with Golden State. Hold on. Stay there.
Well, let's talk.
We were just talking about KD potentially leaving. Where do we think he'll go? I want you to go ahead and start it because you've got this. You've got something. Go ahead.
All right.